Good morning, Brownsville. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you are watching this feed. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Frankie Olivo. We are currently streaming this live feed on Facebook and on YouTube. We go on live Monday through Friday every day at 9 a.m. We focus on addressing the important issues that are affecting the city of Brownsville and its surrounding areas. We are committed to keeping the community abreast with everything that is going on in our local area. Um, Here, you will find topics in regards to politics, religion, pretty much everything to do with life in the city of Brownsville. If this is something that interests you, that you would like to be a part of, make sure you follow our social media pages and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube channel. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday, TGIF, the day in which we are all have been waiting for. It seems as if once we open up our eyes on Monday, every Monday, we say, it's one day closer to Friday. Currently, right now, the city of Brownsville, along with other municipalities and entities throughout the state of Texas, are in election cycle. Tomorrow, Saturday, May the 3rd, is the last day in which we can cast our ballots. We have been talking over and over again, and we hope we haven't silenced that our message hasn't fallen on deaf ears, because we have been constantly talking about the candidates, the arena, the venue, the controversial issue of the arena, and also, who can forget Starbase being incorporated as its own community. Tomorrow will be the last day in which we can cast our vote. In the city of Brownsville, we have very, very important races, which will ultimately affect the dynamics of our city council. For District 3, we have formidable candidates: Gustavo de Leon, Corina Barraza, Miss Denise Chavez. For District 4 candidates, we have Michael Rodriguez, Louis Tejerina, Miss Daisy Zamora, and Pedro Cardenas. For the at-large race, we have Jason Moody, Roy de los Santos, Nurith Kolonsky, and Alejandro Garcia. Make sure you go out and vote. It's sad to report that for 1 week, 7 days of early voting, the city of Brownsville only brought in a little over 5,000 votes. We're at 5,600, more or less. We are also expected to see some scattered showers in the 60 to 70% in the Rio Grande Valley. How is that going to affect Election Day tomorrow? Again, if you haven't already, make sure you go out and vote. You have from 7 in the morning to 7 p.m. The candidates have already done their job. Now it's time for us to perform our civic duty. Make sure you cast your ballot. Make sure you go out and vote. Bring your friends and family. If you do not vote, do not complain. We have very, very important issues that are currently affecting the city of Brownsville, and without proper leadership and guidance, could ultimately affect our trajectory moving forward. The city of Brownsville is blessed to have an identity that is very unique. We've talked about how our cultural history is rich in tradition. We have ports of entries, international bridges, being a border town. We have a zoo that is recognized throughout the state of Texas. And also, who can forget the gorilla? We have SpaceX. So these races ultimately will determine how the next 4, possibly 8 years for the city of Brownsville. And right now, our region, our area, is currently going through a lot of significant changes. what's going to happen? What's going to happen to the city of Brownsville? Are we able to, through proper leadership, are we able to take Brownsville into that next Commissioner, Mayor Cowan did state that the city of Brownsville did see $100 million increase in tourism because of SpaceX. How are we going to benefit from that? So again, these elections for District 3, District 4, and the at-large races are very important for the city of Brownsville moving forward. We've only seen 5,000 people. With the weather that Elizabeth is alluding to, again, a high probability of 60 to 70%. So how is that going to play off? We've stated from the beginning, we don't anticipate one race winning without a runoff. For a candidate to avoid a runoff, they have to receive 50% plus one vote in order for them to avoid it. We recently saw the likes of Mayor Cowan 2 years ago, how he ultimately won his race without a runoff. Due to low in numbers that we have seen in early voting, are we going to see runoffs? Does this benefit the incumbents? If nobody's coming out to vote, their people are. Maybe it fares well for them. But again, very, very important races. The at-large race is going to be a one that's going to be, in my opinion, won in the runoff. And every candidate on this ballot, all they wish for is to be on the runoff. Because again, we have given examples, episode after episode, of individuals that did not come up on top in the primaries, but ultimately ended up winning their races. We have District Attorney Luis Sáenz down in the general election, ended up winning the runoff. Former Sheriff Eric Garza against Omar Lucio was down in the primaries, ended up winning the runoff. The latest one to accomplish that was Eddie Garcia, our Cameron County tax assessor collector. He ended up beating a powerhouse that was in office for decades. Everybody said it's impossible. What we saw in that three-man race was that all Mr. Garcia needed was a runoff, because again, it's a coin flip. It's difficult. It's very difficult to get people out to vote. We can all agree to that. It's the most hardest thing a candidate can do, because for the most part, people don't go out to vote. It's a fact. Voter apathy is real. We're seeing it. We're seeing it here in Brownsville with our early voting numbers. But all these candidates ask for is a runoff. Anything could happen in a runoff. So again, we want to stress, and also making an announcement. Also, we will be coming on tomorrow live Saturday evening at 7:15 p.m. to give the results of this election. It's going to be interesting to get the early voting numbers and see where these candidates fall. Are they going to be depending on election day numbers to come in, or do they declare victory without the runoff? So special Saturday, Good Morning Brownsville. In the evening, we will be giving live results once the numbers comes in. It usually takes, I would say, 15 to 20 minutes after the polls close at 7 p.m. for us to start getting the early voting numbers. So we'll be coming on tomorrow, short show, just to give the results, talk about the candidates, and ultimately see with the results. Some anticipate that they are strong candidates in this race, in their prospective races, that ultimately they possibly won't be needing a runoff. Again, All these candidates ask for is to be in the runoff. Anything, anything could happen. We have bad weather coming our way. How is that going to affect the elections moving forward? We have how uh, now the individuals have to go to their polling location, and we'll be making those known this afternoon. That way, everybody could be aware of where they need to go in order to vote. Something very interesting has been happening as of late. We have the local community recently did celebrate a victory. Currently, right now on the ballot, we have Starbase. Starbase is incorporating themselves into its own community. We have been talking about how Cameron County has been losing its grip on Elon Musk. Remember, it's all about control, ladies and gentlemen. When Starbase and Cameron County came into an agreement, there were certain requirements that SpaceX had to abide by. They had to invest $85 million. They ended up investing $3 billion. They had to hire X amount of employees. Now we hear that there's around 3,000 contract workers. But also the main important one, the caveat in all this was that SpaceX agreed to a certain amount of hours that would be allocated to the closure of our beaches. Again, chat, just a reminder, in the Texas Constitution, it gives the authority to counties as being the ones that could open and close the beaches. And we've seen it for hurricanes, for emergencies, possibly bad weather. But now we have been seeing as of late that Boca Chica Beach, the poor man's beach, is now up for grabs with SpaceX becoming its own entity, becoming its own community. It is distancing itself from Brownsville. Again, it's all about control. Was Elon Musk dissatisfied with our current leadership that he said, you know what? I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to create my own city. But again, we've talked about how if we have rich friends, and in my circle, I'm the poorest one, so all my friends are rich. If we have individuals that have the resources, one thing they do not like is to be told what to do. They do not like to be under contract. They prefer to buy things cash. Cash is king, as we all know, but they don't like that being on their back type of feeling. Here's your money, give me my product, I'll leave. So just imagine the world's richest man has Brownsville as his home, and he's been dishing out millions of dollars to schools throughout the Rio Grande Valley, donated $10 million to revitalize downtown Brownsville. He saw that and he said, you know what? I'm going to create my own city. I'm going to get away from this stranglehold that these individuals have on me. I'm going to create my own city, and I'm going to shoot my rockets as much as I want. Recently, today, we'll be talking about how a controversial SpaceX beach closure bill that was shot down in the state of Texas Committee Affairs, well, that was overturned. What, did we think that the world's richest man was gonna take the defeat and go home and say, oh man, they got me? Heck no. The world's richest man made sure to get this bill done. And again, people have been fearing, this is the biggest fear that we have here in South Texas. How is the world's richest man able to throw peanuts at a community and then ultimately receive his own city and ultimately receive ultimately receive the authority to close the beaches. Many people, environmentalists, avid fishermen, individuals have been in uproar. How is Cameron County allowing SpaceX free reign? Many people have alluded to the idea that Elon Musk is a colonizer. When we think about how the white man colonized the Native Americans, they ended up forcefully taking their land. Is this something similar, chat, to where the Rio Grande Valley, South Texas, Brownsville, one of the poorest and least educated areas in the whole United States, is being ransacked by a billionaire? Is that our sentiment? Again, we have been we've been following how Republican senator and representative recently introduced bills that would ultimately give SpaceX the authority to close the beaches during the week, Monday to Thursday, and ultimately would give Cameron County only the weekend to close the beaches. So again, we're starting to see how Elon Musk, SpaceX, is creating his own city, and he's loosening up the grip of that stranglehold that Cameron County currently has. Did I hear that correctly? $10 million to revitalize Brownsville. Where is it? Because downtown does not look like it's $10 million. You heard that correctly, Rosas. Elon Musk did donate over $20 million to Cameron County schools. BISD got 6.2, 6.5 possibly out of that chunk. And he did donate $10 million to the city of Brownsville. Much of that money was spent on lighting downtown. There was people who were upset to see the final product of those light posts. Some were bent. Some did not work properly. Some of that money also went to the Pepto wall and to revitalize downtown Brownsville. They did murals. They painted the Pepto wall, if I'm not mistaken, the B-Tex. They did get an artist from California. Many people, it was a controversial issue because Brownsville has many artists. The city itself is rich in cultural history. Shouldn't we get someone of our own to paint a mural? Why do we want someone from California? But yes, you heard that correctly, Ms. Rosas. $10 million was donated by Elon Musk to the city of Brownsville to revitalize downtown. Again, do we see millions of dollars in our local area? Not quite. Not quite. But again, that is what Elon Musk did. Just to be clear, he did recoup $8 million back. He did ask for that money in return. For what reason? I'm not sure. We can make the assumption. I guess it's bad to assume, right? We know what that happens, but he probably saw that his money was not being utilized properly. He said, "You know what? No. Give me my money back." But again, Elon Musk has donated millions of dollars to our local area. But what have we seen? We have seen his displeasure with local representatives at the city and at the county. Again, we're dealing with the world's richest man. You think he wants to be told what to do and when to do it? No. So, what were his options? Create my own city. I'm going to find somebody in Austin that's going to give me what I want. Get this monkey off my back. Get Cameron County off my back. I'm going to seek legislation in Austin that is ultimately going to give me, Elon Musk, the authority to close the beaches whenever I want. Again, during President Biden's administration, the FAA did give a lot of resistance to SpaceX. They were limited. They had to do reports, investigations, which lasted months and months. How things have changed now with President Trump's administration, Elon Musk has stated publicly that his idea of launching rockets out of Brownsville, soon to be Starbase, is 25 times a year. Can you imagine that? 2, possibly 3 times a month? But again, who's going to tell the world's richest man no? He found individuals in Austin that were ultimately going to give him what he wants, control. He found that in Senator Aram Hinojosa and Representative Jenny Lopez. They introduced bills. That ultimately would give Elon Musk what he wanted. Get Cameron County off my back. Senator Hinojosa did give us the reasoning behind his proposed bill. He goes on to state, last week, 2 of my bills passed the full Texas Senate. And again, there has been many misinformation circulating about what these bills do. Let me be clear. These bills do not grant SpaceX or the future municipality of SpaceX additional launches or closures beyond what is already allowed. The purpose of these bills is to create a streamlined process for temporary beach closures surrounding space flight activities while still respecting the rights of our national security. Senate Bill 2188 does support a cooperative framework between the future municipality of Starbase and Cameron County to manage closures. Cameron County retains authority over closures during peak times, like, what should be in bold, like weekends and holidays. So Cameron County will only be able to close the beaches Friday through Sunday. The Texas General Land Office continues to oversee rules and regulations for spaceflight under state authority. Now, Space Bill 2230 gives law enforcement clear authority to secure restricted areas during launches, protecting both the public and sensitive nature of national defenses related to these missions. This legislation is about public safety, clarity, protecting our communities while advancing Texas as a leader in space innovation. That was his idea. That was the reasoning behind it. But according to Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino, they weren't even asked what their thoughts were on this. They weren't even consulted. Now, the Cameron County Commission currently consists of Democrats on our Cameron County Commission court. Could this be a thing where Republicans said, we're going to do what we want? There's no need to contact. You would think, right, that this is going to affect a certain government body, a government entity, that we will have a dialogue with them and try and come to a common ground and talk about why I'm introducing this bill and what their feedback is, and maybe we can agree to something, right? But no. Judge Eddie Trevino, along with the commission, stated they didn't bring this to our attention. We're not in agreement. Because again, this is all about control, ladies and gentlemen. So much uproar about this important issue that individuals from throughout the state of Texas stated the Texas Constitution grants the counties, in plural, counties the authority to close the beaches. This bill was shot down in the Committee of State Affairs narrowly. Many people celebrated and said, victory! Elon Musk, we got what we wanted. Ha ha ha! Your millions can't buy nothing. Well, what do you know? Just a few days after the community celebrated this bill, This controversial bill, which gave SpaceX authority to close the beaches, they were celebrating the defeat. Woohoo! 1 for us, 0 for Elon. Well, guess what? Late yesterday, that was overturned. Originally, this bill did cause major uproar, and the reasonings were, again, how are you going to close the beaches? The beaches, Senator, the beaches, Representative, belong to the people. There's no way that someone from the outside could do that. And when we talk about tourism, since 2019 has been drawing people from all over the world. But remember, anytime that there is a launch, they close Highway 4. And the only way to get access through it is through that road. Well, would you believe me if I told you that there was a certain representative from the Rio Grande Valley that ultimately gave Elon Musk what he was after this whole time? You guessed it, a representative from Star Zapata County. Representative Guillen was the one that ultimately voted to overturn this bill. So can y'all visualize this? The interesting thing about Guillen was that he recently, not too long ago, switched parties. He served as the Democratic representative out of Star County for many years. But there was rezoning, redistricting, gerrymandering of his district, which highly favored Republicans. And what did he do? He switched sides. Now, is this a business move? Did he no longer fall in line with the Democratic ideologies? And did he possibly see that the Republicans were possibly going to come into power? So might as well switch, right? Well, that is the same thing that Vicente Gonzalez ultimately did. Vicente Gonzalez out of Hidalgo jumped positions to represent Cameron County and parts of Hidalgo. Well, Representative Guillen on Wednesday, April the 30th, did vote to give Elon access, the authority to close the beaches. Originally, Mr. Guillen, Representative Guillen, he voted against Elon Musk being a Republican. And we've been talking about how Elon Musk has been very vocal and stated, whoever goes against me, be prepared, because I'm going to get somebody. To run against you. So how does the community feel? It's like a shot to the gut, isn't it? What we thought that a bill was shot down. Testimony was given from detractors of this bill that stated the beaches belong to the people of Texas, not to this multi-billion-dollar company entity. Do not go forward with it. And what did Representative Guillen do? He voted with the people originally. But then he probably got a call from Elon's representatives and said, let's make this happen. 4 Republicans originally voted against SpaceX, the bill, originally. And Guillen was one of them. So how does this affect? Us moving forward? Well, it ultimately is giving Elon Musk what he wants. Is this something to where it is inevitable that the world's richest man is ultimately getting what he wants? When you look at it, he played us like a fiddle. He did it very cleverly. Now, the city of Brownsville, Cameron County, was in a pickle. If we go back to 20, when did they come to the agreement? 2013, 2014, a decade ago, Brownsville had nothing. Well, we currently still have nothing. We're still poor. We needed something, a boom, a bang. We needed the mother lode. We needed something that was going to put Brownsville on the map, was going to give us worldwide attention, publicity, and was going to bring the masses to the city of Brownsville. Again, we have seen an increase of $100 million come from tourism. These elections are very important because we need to market SpaceX to the world. Something that candidate Jason Moody, that is running for the at-large race, has promised. But how do you feel, chat? Elon Musk played us like a fiddle. In the beginning, he probably said, well, I'll throw a couple million here, a couple million there, and they'll give me what I want. But then he started dishing out the money, and he probably said, you know what? These people want more and more and more and more. They're not satisfied. What am I going to do? How can I get this monkey off my back? I don't want to be giving money to these politicos. I don't want to be told when to launch my rockets. I'm the rocket man. I'm a billionaire. I've given these people money, and they still want more. You know what, team? Let's make a petition. Let's make a petition to create our own community, distance ourselves from the city of Brownsville. We don't need them. They need us. Oh, and President Trump is now the president. I have Republicans that currently represent this area. Why don't I take control of when I could shoot my rockets? Again, Austin, our leadership, our representatives in Austin didn't contact SpaceX. They were kind of blindsided by this bill. Can you imagine Cameron County not having control over Elon Musk? That's it. The world's richest man is on his own. He could do as he pleases. Elon Musk played us well. He's creating his own city. And now, this short victory that we thought we had on Elon Musk is over. We may have won the battle, but it seems as if Elon Musk is winning the war. Is it how Miss Presas is portraying it? Are we being taken advantage of by our local representatives who don't give a bigger fight? Are we bending over? Are we bending the knee and kissing the hand of the world's richest man? And if we can put ourselves in the political shoes, do you blame them? Honestly, and look, straight up, who's going to go up against Elon Musk? Now, there's people that will, but these politicians have treated these positions as careers. It is not in their best interest to go up against the likes of Elon Musk. Again, I could understand them, but is that ultimately what the people want? What the people need? Are we being colonized by the world's richest man? Is one of the poorest areas in the nation. Are we seeing something that was our treasure, our pride and joy? Is this now a case of now it's in the hands of the elite? Now it is in the hands of the world's richest man? It seems that way because, again, now Boca Chica does not belong to the people. Now, according to this vote that was done on the committee affairs, which ultimately will go up, will now head to the House. The House committee, which will schedule it for a vote before the Texas House, Will this become, will this bill pass? Could this one issue affect all of Texas along the coast? Because again, this bill is just aimed at the municipality that will become Starbase, but you give people an inch, they take a mile. This bill could ultimately open the door to the same thing that is happening along the entire Texas coast. Is Texas at risk of losing control? Do we not find our Texas Constitution what our founding fathers believed in? That the beaches were for Texas? Now we see how Boca Chica belongs to the world. And again, if we put ourselves in the position of city of Brownsville, of Cameron County, back in 2014, we understand why we needed SpaceX. Heck, we need SpaceX because if they leave, we lose job, we lose opportunity, we lose tourism, we lose everything. We'll be stuck with our appraisal values high, our taxes high. We need SpaceX. SpaceX is what is the heartbeat of Brownsville right now. It's the sad truth, ladies and gentlemen. It's our reality. It is because of SpaceX that people from Africa, Europe, South America, Asia are traveling to Brownsville. I watch a lot of podcasts. I've mentioned this before. I don't watch news. I read a lot, and I watch podcasts from people from the other sides of the globe talk about making plans to see these rocket launches, to be a part of history. Heck, we've even seen the 47th president fly Air Force One. I was fortunate. I'm fortunate. I live 2 minutes away from the airport. I get on Minnesota and I'm there. I was fortunate enough to see Air Force One, something we don't see every day, a once in a lifetime opportunity. Brownsville has seen the likes of President Barack Obama. Biden came and spoke during Charro Days in 2024. Mayor Cowan met him at the Border Patrol station in Olmito. And President Trump was here earlier this year with his family and with his cabinet members, with other leadership from his party, to witness firsthand the rocket launch. So again, SpaceX is here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. We need SpaceX more than they need us. Well, it's a give and take, right? They need our territory. It was the best one geographically compared to Georgia, Florida, Puerto Rico, and other possible launch sites. But Brownsville is changing. The dynamics is changing. What once we thought was a small city is now a city that is controlled by the world's richest man. A controversial SpaceX bill, a closure, was revived. How do we feel? How do we feel about that, chat? Are we being colonized? Are we kissing the ring to the world's richest man? Is this something that we need? The ones who are benefiting from this is realtors, mortgage lenders, the Cameron County Appraisal District, all these entities, these government entities, BISD, the port. Why? Because they're all benefiting somehow. While us, the people, are being affected by it. But that's our new reality. This falls on the citizens of Brownsville and the county. No one votes and just complains. The people won't change, but they don't do it. The people want change. I'm sorry, apologize. The people want change, but they don't want to do anything about it. And you're absolutely right, Rosas. It's unfortunate that the city of Brownsville, on paper, has 200,000 people that could come out to vote, and we're seeing dismal numbers. We have been talking over and over again all this week and previously about voter apathy, and that we understand the reason is behind individuals not being part of the process. We understand that. But at the end of the day, these individuals ultimately shape the future of our community, and their decisions affect our daily lives. It is sad. It's sad that we're going through these times, that the city has small numbers. Voter apathy is real. There are many reasons why, and we're not going to go over them. We'll be repeating ourselves. But nonetheless, how do we feel, chat? Are we okay with this? What else can be done? Elizabeth did state that there is a protest that will take place tomorrow in support of Boca Chica Beach. Yesterday, I have a picture, I have a video I wanted to get down. Yesterday, there was a mini protest at the post office downtown. There were 3 people holding up signs. And it was in regards to SpaceX. So if you do know of the location and time of this event, Elizabeth, if you could reach out to me, that way we can post it. But again, it's done with, ladies and gentlemen. The poor man's beach, Boca Chica, now belongs to the world's richest man. We had a Republican come back, a former Democrat in Guillen, a former Democrat who switched parties in 2001, who served on the committee affairs. He ended up voting for Elon Musk on a 6-3 vote. How do we feel about that? What can be done? It seems like Elon Musk is getting what he wants. Again, this has always been an issue about control. We do not dictate to the world's richest man what to do. He dictates and tells us what he wants. He stated SpaceX will be launching 25 times per year. Did he stutter? Did we think that he was lying? At the end of the day, it's all about control, ladies and gentlemen. Elon Musk saw how the city of Brownsville wasn't benefiting him, how he probably had to dish out lots of money. And he said, you know what? I'm tired of this. Why don't we create our own community? And what do you think Cameron County judge said? Yes, sir. Whatever you want. And again, just for clarity, the only ones that are able to vote in this star-based election that would grant them to be its own entity, be its own community, only the residents there. So only 200 people will ultimately decide the fate for the future of Brownsville. And this bill that was introduced by Senator Hinojosa and Representative Lopez, this bill ultimately gave control to the world's richest man. How do you feel about this? Are you okay with this? At the end of the day, Elon Musk is getting what he wants. Are you okay with the world's richest man taking control? Somebody said, Frankie, this bill only gives SpaceX the authority to close the beaches Monday to Thursday. We still have control over him. Again, if we haven't learned already, you give people an inch, they take the whole enchilada. You give him money to Thursday, he's gonna say, I want 7 days. I want to launch rockets on the weekends, and I don't want them to tell me no. So pass legislation. Eventually, he's gonna get what he wants. The theme of today is Elon Musk wants control of a public beach. It seems as if the state of Texas, our local representatives, are prepared to do so. How do you think Governor Abbott is going to treat this? Because again, this is a very controversial issue. Are we giving away the beaches to a multi-billion-dollar company? That's essentially what we're doing, right? How do you feel, chat? Are you okay with us giving our most prized possession to give SpaceX the authority to close the beaches Monday through Friday whenever they want? We anticipate that if this ultimately passes, we anticipate that Elon Musk eventually will have full autonomous reign throughout the whole week to make his launches. Again, a controversial SpaceX build closure was revived days after locals celebrated its defeat. It seems as if Goliath ended up winning in this story. We were celebrating and saying, ha ha, us small people, us poor people, we represent David against Goliath, that is SpaceX, that is Elon Musk, the world's richest man. The community won, Elon 0. Just 2 days after it was shot down, phone calls were made. Let's make this happen. You know what to do. It passed 7-6. How do you feel, chat? Are you okay? Are you okay with our prized possession being given to the world's richest man? That is something for us to talk about. It is Friday, May the 2nd. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Again, we will be coming on live tomorrow evening, a election day special. We'll be coming on to post the results, talk about the different races, see if there are any races that are ultimately going to win without a runoff. Which race is going to be into a runoff? Which candidate will be in a runoff? We have been pounding the idea of let's go out and vote. The first week we did see our numbers dip. The last 2 days of early voting, we saw an increase, which was, is good. But we have bad weather tomorrow. How is that going to affect election day results? Again, make plans. If you haven't already, go out and vote. These issues are very important. We need to elect individuals that are going to bring out the very best for the city of Brownsville, that are going to have the best interests of Brownsville at heart. If we don't vote, we can't complain. These individuals have a significant impact on our daily lives. The candidates have done their part. We need to do the same. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Happy Friday. Make sure you go out and vote. Saturday special evening. We're going live. Good Morning Brownsville is coming on at 7:15. Tune in for the results. Again, happy Friday, TGIF. Have a great day. Tune in tomorrow evening. Hope you all have a lovely day. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Sad day for our community being taken advantage of. We are the people, folks. Don't let them take away the little that we have. I remember. I was told that fajita at one time, Hernandez, was considered poor, for the poor man's food. Fajita, back in my younger days when I was a lad, I remember being $2 a pound, $3 a pound. Now, fajita is $7 a pound, depending on where you go. $8 a pound. Now, it's considered the rich man's food. That is the same thing that is happening with Boca Chica, Hernandez. Boca Chica used to be the poor man's beach. You would only go to Boca Chica if you don't want to waste on restaurants, on hotels, on beach access, that you have to pay cash to go into Isla Blanca to access the beaches. Now, Boca Chica what was once the poor man's beach, now it belongs to the world's richest man. Are we being taken advantage of? We are the people. What are we going to do about it? Don't let them. Don't let them take the little that we have. It is Friday, May the 2nd. Make sure you go out and vote tomorrow. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, 7:15 for Election Day results. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Happy Friday. Hope you all have a great day. See you here tomorrow evening, 7:15. Peace. Thanks for tuning in, Haas. Appreciate you, my man. Much love.